So, my dear Cancer, the Earth has continued its path, and we see now behind the Sun the constellation Scorpio. And Scorpio, of course, is that intense moment where we really learn to let go. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. Pluto is going next year, 2024, into the sign Aquarius, which is an air sign. And we're going to see a big shift there. And Scorpio is the 8th house of reincarnation. So you're getting the light from Scorpio to the moon that is in your sign right now. You are somehow ruled by the moon, and of course we can see you holding the Holy Grail, and your success is the love that you provide to your family, because you are the 4th house of friends and family. And so you recognize that now we're going to the right, we're going to the full moon, right? Once the full moon is over, we're going to go to the left, to the new moon, back to ourselves. But right now you're going towards Capricorn, because Capricorn is going to give you the light in your next full moon. And so this is going to be the story, right? How you're slowly going out to the most outer point, that is Capricorn, to show the light that you're holding, because Capricorn month is the darkest month, and of course Capricorn got the devil. Now the yoga position here for Scorpio is Scorpio pose, and we liberate ourselves like the phoenix out of its ashes. And for you, I gave you Ashwasanchalanasana High Lounge. You are the horse yourself, that you pulling yourself into the success that you want in your life, right? So that's that. This is this moment. Today the sun and the moon in this constellation are leading, of course, the reading. I see this as a special moment, a moment that will never come ever again, because yes, next year we have sun and moon again in this sign, but all the other signs are going to be on a different position. And so for me, it's really important that I do the reading exactly on the day the moon is in your sign, so that I get your energy. The court card for you is the Queen of Cups. Is your birthday between June 10th and July 12th, then is she your court card. If your birthday is before or after, you can look in the description. I have there all the cards, all the dates, and everything that I do listed. Back to the last reading, where we had Libra Sun giving the Cancer Moon the light. To take the journey out is to show the world who you truly are. And this is what I'm talking about, right? You see the arrow here? And so you're going out. This was Libra, now we're in Scorpio, then we have Sagittarius, and then we have Capricorn. And that's when you get your full moon. So you're going out, you're showing who you truly are. You see the ladder going up, right? So it's a very beautiful message that already inspired you to really take that path out and to show yourself, right? Then I'm going to pick another card on the position of the call, or the last judgment. Here it's the Aeon. And we see what Pluto is really wanting to tell you, because Pluto is connected with Scorpio and with, of course, the last judgment. And Pluto, like I said, is going next year into Aquarius, and it's going to change us as humans. It's going to change us profoundly. And so that's why I want to see what is coming up here, because the Lifruma Healing Oracle is my latest deck that I purchased in 2023. And this is now the card that is coming up, the 18. It looks like a bee, and the word is Berk, begin, poplar tree. So if I put the 20 above, I get a 38. And the 18 becomes a 9, and the 38 becomes an 11. And the 11 is then a portal that is letting you know what's important in this reading, what's wanting to talk to you. Adapting to relentless environmental stress. Poplar trees wrap seeds in cotton casings and give these future wishes pre-wrapped and ready mapped to the wind to carry and spread fresh life. Their roots, safe from wildfires, are studded with buds, ready to erupt from below the soil and grow anew. Same roots, new home, new world. Begin again with certain vigor, knowing your future's assured. So there is a new beginning, because when we see, of course, Scorpio, the card number 13, right, it becomes a 4. And so the 9 and the 4 is 13 again, and so the 4 is left. So you begin a new energy. The 4 is the Emperor, is Aries, is having a clear vision and following it, acting upon it. So remember the 9, and then of course with the 20 we get the 38, and that's then the 11. 11 again, back to Libra. Libra came up in the reading. Right, here we see Libra, and yeah, you see that energies are talking always, right? I mean, this is what's so fascinating with these readings. I once saw a reading that I had here unfolding outside in the street, and it was really remarkable. I was like, oh my God, I'm not making this stuff up, right? Good. So we have, of course, now the call. The call is, no matter what's happening to you, you have always the bud, you always have the seed to create a new life. So we begin on the position of the Fool. The Fool is bringing you the 10, the Wheel of Fortune, which is Jupiter ruled, which is expansion, which is growth. And you get from 10 100, because the 0 of the Fool is adding to it. And this is ruled by Uranus, and Uranus is always the new energy, a new beginning, a change that is good, right? And of course, Uranus is also ruling Aquarius. So it's really interesting that I've seen now through the planets, right, as well, that right now in a lot of people they are recognizing that a new age, but also Pluto being 20 years in Aquarius, right? So this is part number 20, right? And so it's very clear. You get an 11 portal, and 11 is the 11th house of Aquarius. So recognize what's happening here, right? The Wheel of Fortune is letting you know everything is constantly spinning. Here it's spinning to the right, but he is facing the left. And you can see how she is up, and then this one goes down. So of course it's this way, right? But he's facing to the left, and the left is the soul, and to the right is the human. And you have this thought inside of you that's saying, I want to begin to expand. I want to begin to be someone of influence. And of course, Jupiter is the one that is helping you to achieve that. And then on the position of the Magician, which is ruled by Mercury, which is the language and the mind, you get the Sorcerer, and the Sorcerer is looking at this Wheel of Fortune. It's really intense. He's literally like, okay, they're coming towards me, but he's looking to the left. He's almost connected here with the perspective of the old person that is letting go the body and goes with the soul to the left. And so because he's facing the left, he's literally like the Sorcerer. He's the negative aspect of your higher consciousness, and the number here is the 48. That's a 12. Calculated together, we get then the 3 left. And of course, if I calculate now the Magician to the 48, I get a 49. The 49 calculated together is a 13. 13 here speaks Scorpio to you. Be careful, right? Because then the 4 again is left. Be careful that you are understanding what's happening here. This is really important. There is a message, but do not act upon this message, right, in a negative way. And also remember, you have here, right, a new home, a new energy that wants to give hope to the people, right? Because we get the 11 at the end. And the hope is to never give up. The hope is to, no matter how dark the forces are, to recognize that you have the power to make things move. Now, since this is an oracle deck, I picked from the Medicine Woman here a clarification card, and I get the 17. I get Aquarius. And so, yes, the age of Aquarius is going to be difficult because Aquarius came upside down. Now, because these cards are round, you can see that it's easy for them to come upside down or to the right or to the left, right? And there are 4 types of explanation to each card. Now, Aquarius energy is talking here to you, right? That you don't give up hope, that you don't let go of anything that you want to achieve. But because it's facing down, we're going to have a look what it's wanting to tell you. And the message is, in reverse, the star is fearing vulnerability and may have a hard time opening herself to love and healing. Perhaps she is sick and feels negative or defeated. She needs to be aware of the healing and regeneration that is possible and find ways of reconnecting herself with what renews her energy. So maybe the Sorcerer is depleting her energy because she's here in a bath. She is healing. She is understanding that the bird above her brings her the message, the star cluster, Sirius, the 7 sister star cluster, and being in the water, in the healing, and understanding that she is trying to do something. It's almost like it's this, right? Because it's the lowest part of the card, but it's not upside down, but it's like it's something wants to go. It's almost like Scorpio is telling you, hey, something is leaving, right? That's why the bird is looking to the left. So you have then, when we calculate it all together, right, the 4 with these 2, and then the 8 is a 12, and out of the 12 we get the 3. The 3 is left. 3 is the new one. 3 is the healing. 3 is important because out of the 3 we understand that the Empress gives birth to everything that we experience here. Then on the position of the High Priestess comes Libra. And Libra back then gave you to take the journey out is to show the world who you truly are. And so Libra is here lingering in your subconscious because that's what the High Priestess is all about. She is deciding between right and left in an instant. In that split of a second, she knows this is the message. And the message is of being in an equal level of positive and negative and finding in the center yourself, right? Now here in this deck, this is the card number 11. And so I don't calculate the two together, but it would be a 13. And so again, we would have Scorpio talking here to you. But the 11 has come up here, right? And so you got the 11 framing the sorcerer. So there's a portal that is letting you know, be careful. Always be careful, because the new age of Aquarius is learning to be adaptable to new things constantly, particularly in technology, right? It's like there's no end to it, right? And so when we look, of course, at the Fool, right, there is always a new moment, because the wheel is turning. Everything is turning. The earth is turning around the sun, right? The sun is turning in the Milky Way, right? And it's everything is moving. Nothing is ever really fixed, right? We thought the sun is fixed, and it is fixed from our perspective. But we're moving around the sun, and the sun is actually moving also in the Milky Way. And you are becoming the information to be vigilant, to see that everything is changing constantly, right? And so, anyway, we have the 4 left here. And that's, of course, then also the 4 with the Magician and the Sorcerer, right? Here we got a 4 as well, right? So just see and connect with that. On the position of the Empress, right? The number 3, we get Sagittarius, which is next month. You get the light from Sagittarius. Here we have the 14 and the 3, that's the 17. That's then Aquarius, the star, right? And the star came to you, and even upside down, it's for a reason. You are healing maybe right now, but now you're getting again the 17. It's almost like the Empress that was left with the Sorcerer and the Aquarius, or the Star and the Magician, right? It's like the 3 was left, and here comes the 3 that gives birth now to a 5. Calculated together, we get, of course, an 8. And the 8 is always that infinite potential to give and take and give and take and give and take with the new generation, no matter what the generation is about. To see the guardian angel, to understand that the Empress is ruled by Venus, so she loves beauty, right, and love. But you have here an understanding of Jupiter. Jupiter is that one moment where we expand and where we want to aspire to greatness, and we want to become even a guardian angel, right? And so see how you clearly bring the 17, and then out of the 17, the 8 now forward. You give birth to an infinite understanding that life can be beautiful, right? Life can be exceptional. Life can be lived in that evolving potential. Then on the position of the Moon, which is of course in Cancer, right, we get the 9 of Swords, and that's connected with the constellation Mars in Gemini. And Mars in Gemini is intense. It's the nightmares, it's the difficulty. And the 9 and the 7 is the 16, is the Tower, is Mars, right? So Mars through Gemini and Mars through the Tower is literally saying things need to go, right? Things are in your mind. You need to let go. You need to really understand that this is not working anymore, but the 7 is left. You come out of there if you use love. With love, we can conquer anything, right? Particularly with forgiveness, with letting go. And this is what Scorpio is telling us, right? Scorpio is telling us, let go, really let go, because here we have, of course, the Moon talking to you, right? And the Moon is literally the feelings and the subconscious that is talking to you, and you have something in your mind that's not really good. It's not really positive what's happening here, right? Then on the position of the Queen of Cups, that's the center of this reading, right? We get Capricorn. Then in the next month after, we had the month of Sagittarius. Capricorn month is coming, and you get there the light. You get the 15, which is a 6, right? And then you get the 4th zodiac sign. So the 15 and the 4 is 19, is the sun, and then the 10 is left. And so the 10 has spoken right away on the position of the Fool. Don't be fooled by the social status. Don't be fooled by things that glitter and make you feel like you want them. Don't get attached to any of it. Be in the wheel of fortune. Understand that everything is moving and changing and shifting. And so here you are, right? Recognizing the 10. Fulfillment in the social status is attachment in the end that gonna make us quite unhappy. Then on the position of the sun, which is in Scorpio, we get the 8 of Wands. And the 8 of Wands is connected, of course, with Sagittarius, right? So Sagittarius was here in the position of the Empress, which is Venus ruled. And the 8 is Mercury in Sagittarius. So Mercury, where we had the Sorcerer, and where we had the star upside down, right? So something happened there. Something is going on deep within you with your mind, right? You have sometimes maybe some negativity in there. And so the constellation Mercury in Sagittarius is literally saying, well, if you don't get attached to this, you're gonna quickly change. You're gonna quickly evolve, right? Because the death card here in Aleister Crowley, right? This is the Herman Handel tarot deck. Meanwhile, I gave you Aleister Crowley's deck because you're the healer. I think you can handle this kind of dark magic Aleister Crowley sometimes was accused of. So here you have the 13, which becomes the 4, and again the 8, which is a 12, and the 3 is left. So very clearly, right, the 3 of the Empress, where the Sagittarius angel is on, is talking to you and is saying, well, recognize, right, that the 8 that is here, the 8 that is here, and knowing the 8 is that infinite potential, right, that we talked about. And there is as well the 8 in the Sorcerer, and there is an 8 here in the 17. So you are recognizing now that the sun, that personality, that I thinking is letting you know, well then, when you're not getting attached to this moment, right, that is then a 10 here, and you see the 3 coming back, you are understanding that things are sometimes moving so fast, you don't know how it happened, that sometimes a success or also a non-successful situation can be appearing at seemingly out of nowhere, right? And this is where the 8 of Wands is letting you know that Mercury in Sagittarius, this is like speed, strong, fast, right? Clear message, action-oriented. Something is letting you know that something is leaving, something is going. Then, on the position of the moon comes the dream oracle, and we have the 3. We have the benefactor, the grace and the generosity here of these beautiful little mouse in the Amnamida Muscaria, right? And so we have the 18, which is the 9, and the 3 is the 12, and we have a 3 left. And so you recognize that the 3 comes up pretty often. And the 3 is letting you know that this is giving birth to new things. The 3 is the triangle. The 3 is the Holy Spirit. And it's kind of like that Trinity, right? Everything is Trinity. The past, the present, and the future, etc. And so here you are being challenged to see in your dreams this happiness, right, between these two, masculine and feminine. Now here I picked as well from the Mother Peace Tarot, and you see how the arrows are flying literally into this happiness. There is something coming to you, and you get here the Fool, this 0. So the 3 is becoming a 30, and you see how is on his hands, and here is the Amnamida muscaria, right? And that's the part of the shaman that is using the magic or even the poison in the mushroom to see on the other side what is coming. And it's very interesting. You see how the is the Amnamida muscaria, and there are again here. So it's almost like this foolish idea, this foolish thought of wanting to expand, of wanting to be a 10, of a new 1 and a 0 plus the 0 is 100, from 0 to 100, right? It's like I am ready to take on the world. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to expand out, right? And you are expanding out into the full moon. And it's like, there it is. Bam, right? You are going to a new consciousness. Something is literally telling you, yes, you are. Boom. Really quickly is this happening. Then on the position of the Sun, we get here another 8. So the 19 becomes the 10, the 8, the 18, and the 18 is the 9. And so you get the fire, you get the action, and you see that something is literally saying, yes, something is happening really fast. Something is really letting you know things are being pushed forward. And of course, here from the Mother Peace Tarot, I got the 16, which is the Tower, which is Mars. Mars is that I destroy things, I take action. And you are taking actions not to destroy things, but to really create a new magical formula. Because the Tower came up upside down. And so we're going to read what the Tower is wanting to tell you as that upside down energy. And it's saying change is slow or not disruptive. She may be unaware of what is happening, and it can be a relief to have changes come more gradually. The goddess is called to be with her people. She is sitting on a tower that she knows will soon crumble. She has no time to consider the danger or consequences because she is struck by lightning. Already the world has changed. They are in the middle of a solar eclipse. The people wait below. As the lightning strikes, she has a vision. She tells the people how to get to their new home. So the change is slow, but nevertheless the change is happening, and you see that she is literally working now under the magic of the Amnamida muscaria, which is like, you know, the mushroom the magician used, or the sorcerer used, right? Or the shaman used. And so here we recognize that something is going slow, but nevertheless it's happening. And we know there is an intense time happening outside right now in this world. And so you are someone that is recognizing that and seeing how to actually create a protection formula here, right? Wow. So we have the 10 and the 8, which is then the 18. Then we have the 9 and the 7 from the 16, right, is again the 16 and the 7 is left. So you are left. Your actions, right? Your vision, what you hold in your hands, the Holy Grail, the love that you have, not only for your family but for everybody else, even though you had the 9 of Swords and you have quite something going on inside of your head. And also, of course, then the attachment to the social status is pushing your boundaries, right? But here you are arriving in a 10, right? And the 10 was that everything is moving and everything is changing. And so the last card here now on the position of the world, which is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is then of course always those boundaries and those lessons. The universe is the 21. We have the 3 here again and the Ace of Swords. So the 9 of Swords plus 1 more sword is the 10, is the liberation, is that missing piece that makes you realize, yes, now we do have a 1 and a 10 with a 1, and we do have 10 swords, right? And so recognize the 11 here as well, right? So there's a lot of ones coming to you, the one and only, that one and only energy that is helping you to evolve is here. And so the 4 is left, right? The 3 and the 1 is the 4, and the 4 we know is Scorpio, is the new beginning, is that new idea, is that new thinking. And you are now at this point realizing that you looking into the spiritual path that you have taken with those formulas, and that's why you're able to blindfold now, accept what Jupiter is bringing, accept that things are changing, and you are looking at this, and you are looking at yourself, how you created here this portal, this protection portal, right? And so it's really interesting, right? Because you are here created the 7, right? You made out of the 8 a 7 because of everything calculated here together, right? We get the 7 left, and the 7 is you. The 7 is, of course, always the moment of I am successful with love. I am successful with giving love to others, right? And so you never lose hope, right? Even though there are dark forces working on you, you are ready, right? And you have an 11 here as well. So I'm going to calculate all the ones together and see how many I get. And maybe I put it on the cover of the reading, right? Because sometimes it's really interesting when we get 5 times the 1 or 6 times the 1. It has a meaning as well. But you are actually realizing then the 4, the stability that is here in the world, and also to see that Saturn as that border or as that lesson is telling you in your mind, everything is in your mind. So if you have in your mind the formula, you can create yourself again and again. Wow. Sometimes I really don't know what's coming, right? But also remember the 11 is here, or the 9, right? And that could be 9/11, right? When we calculate it, of course, together we get the 11. And so the 11 is also a 2, right? But you understand where I'm going with all these numbers. So I hope I see you in the next reading, because we are having Sagittarius here already, letting you know that things are going to get really quick, right? In the way you are changing your personality and in the way you are adapting, right, to the new. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.